Hey guys, hope you had a good day. Okay, so see, Solomon's been really stupid, and he dies. Ended his life on a seriously low note. It's like, I don't know if you compare it to anything in the world. It's like totally being ahead 100-0 on the Super Bowl and fixing to win it all, and everybody's so happy and excited, and then everybody just forgets how to play and loses the football game in the last quarter. But like a billion times worse. So he just had it all going so good, and I guess it really helps us see that we got to remain diligent to the very end. We got to keep on keeping on, and keep on loving Jesus, and keep going to church, and keep praying, and keep reading our Bible, and keep making sure we have lots of Christian friends, and making sure we don't get sidetracked, because we do have an enemy that doesn't want to see us be successful, and he won't quit. So we got to not quit loving Jesus till the very, very end. So King Solomon messed up. He loved foreign wives. Now he's dead. Now kingdom is really going to start going downhill, because he introduced to everybody. It wasn't just him that was messing up. He had all these wives, and so he was trying to take care of them. So he would build temples for their gods, and he put these in his towns. So now, he didn't just mess up for him. He was a leader. So his people started messing up too, and they're starting to go to all these idol worshiping places of Solomon's wives. So he really messed up for him and for the whole 12 tribes of Israel. So we talked about this prophet went to Jeroboam, and said, "You're going to get 10 of the tribes." Now we're going to talk about Rehoboam. Rehoboam was one of Solomon's boys, and he says right here, Solomon. Let's see. So Solomon rested with his fathers and was buried, and Rehoboam his son succeeded him as king. So Rehoboam's the king. All right. So Rehoboam, all the people, Rehoboam becomes king, and all the people come to him, and they say, so they sent for Rehoboam, and he and the whole assembly of Israel went to Rehoboam and said to him, "Your father put a heavy yoke on us, but now lighten the harsh labor and the heavy yoke he put on us, and we will serve you." So this makes me think a little different about Solomon, and kind of a little bit different about rich people in general. Hopefully not. I know not all rich people are like this. I know that. But some rich people have a tendency to really squeeze everything they can out of poor people, and make them work super hard, all right, to get the money they're going to make. And I understand that that's a good way to make money, but I'm a little bit more about trying to make it even. Boss definitely has to make more money than everybody else, but the people should make some money too. I like that idea, right? So what Solomon had done is he had really taxed the people, because he had to build his palace, he had to build a temple. So they didn't get to take all their money home with them. He taxed them a lot. right? And he made them work really hard, and he made them serve him. And so Dad would work maybe 10 months out of the year for the family, and then I'd have to go work 2 months. I don't know exactly how it worked, but I had to work for King Solomon to help him build his palace and his temple and all that. So the people were tired. They're like, man, your dad just worked the tire out of us. And could you please just lighten the load? Your father put a heavy yoke on us, but now lighten it, we will serve you. So Rehoboam said, okay, I hear what you're saying. Why don't you guys go away for 3 days? We'll give you 3 days, and I'm going to talk it over with my advisors, and I'll talk it over with everybody, and I'll give you an answer. That's a pretty big answer. He's not going to, if he lightens the load, he's not going to have all this freebie stuff and get to live in just all the luxuries of luxuries, you know. So he's got to think about that. So he goes to the elders, which would be people like Grandma, Grandpa, people that have lived forever, you know, for a long time. And they're smart. They've lived life. They know how things work. They know how to treat people, and they know what happens if you aren't good to people for a long time. And he goes to the elders who know way more than he does. He's younger. He said, what should I do? And they said, oh man, you should totally lighten the load. If you do, these people are going to serve you with all their hearts. They're going to totally love you, and it'll be really good for you if you'll lighten the load. They will love their king, and your kingdom is going to be a happy place to be around. If you'll lighten the load. So then Rehoboam says, okay, that sounds good. You got it. Okay, so then he goes and he asks the young ones, the guys that are his age. And they're like, what? What are we going to do about having all of our parties and getting all free money all the time and sitting around and just partying all day long? Don't listen to those old folks. That's not exactly how it went. That's kind of my version. But this is, he said, then Rehoboam consulted the elders, and they said, the old guys, and he said, how would you advise me to answer? And they said, if today you will be a servant to these people and serve them, do what's best for them, not what's best for you, and give them a favorable answer, they will always be your servants. But then Rehoboam rejected the advice of the elders gave him and consulted the young men he had grown up with. What is your advice? They say, lighten the yoke. They said, tell these people, my father laid a heavy yoke on you. I will make it even heavier. My father scourged you with whips. I will scourge you with scorpions. So his answer is going to be, no way, Jose. You thought it was bad when Solomon was around. It's going to be so much worse when I become king, now that I'm king. So 3 days later, Jeroboam and all the people returned. The king answered them harshly. And he said exactly what they had said. He said, my father made your yoke heavy, I will make it even heavier. And when Israel saw the king refused to listen to them, they said, we will not. What share do we have in David? Look after your own household, David. And they all went to their houses. And they're like, we're not going to be your people anymore. You're not our king. What share do we have in David? Which would be like your granddad, your dynasty, the king, basically. You're not my king. There's a saying a lot of people in America say is he your president? So like if you don't agree with what the president's doing, you know, he's not your president. I didn't vote for him. It's kind of what they were doing, but way worse. They were not. He wasn't going to be the boss of them anymore. There's way more of them than there are of him, right? So Rehoboam sends out somebody to talk to him. Some guy named Adoniram, who was in charge of the forced labor, to get them to work. He said, okay, it's time to get to work. So he sent this guy out to get them all to work, and they stoned him to death. Bad move, man. Bad move, man. Rehoboam, you're in trouble, man. All the bosses that go out there to get the people to work, they're going to get killed. So Rehoboam got on his chariot, and somehow he managed to get away. He escaped. So things are going bad downhill. It all started with Solomon marrying people that didn't love the Lord. Everything was so good, and he messed up, and God's going to take the kingdom away from him. Took it away from his kids, all except for one tribe. They're all going to go, but it just gets bad from here on out. I don't know how much we're going to get into it, but basically they just keep worshiping idols, and every once in a while a good king will pop up, and then a bad king will start doing it all again. It really depends on what the leader's doing. So if you're in charge of something in your life, man, you gotta do it the way God wants you to, and you'll have success. Even just your own family, when you personally are serving the Lord, life is awesome. It is.